Good afternoon, YouTube. How are y'all doing this afternoon? So, I know I hadn't uploaded a video in a while, and I'm sorry about that, but you know, life happens, you get busy sometimes, but hey, this year, 2021, I'm trying to get back into everything now, so we're kind of going to be, probably going to be going a different direction with the channel, probably going to turn to more of a welding channel, still working on stuff, still doing stuff in my old forge, still farming, you know, but since welding is my main job now, there's probably going to be a lot more of that show up and everything, so well, bear with me and we'll see what happens and everything. But I'm not going to try to ramble on too much on this video and everything. I'm going to try to start getting straight to the point and talking, or straight to the point and quit talking so much, because I know some people comment saying you talk too much and all that stuff. But so today in the video, I'm coming at you with the 1-year review on my Hobart Champion Elite 225 DC stick welder. And so it's been actually about a little over a year now, about a year and a month now, something like that I've owned the machine, because I got it for Christmas Christmas of 2019, like right after Christmas Day, like the next day. And so now January 2021, so I've had it, you know, right at a little over a year. So go ahead and get into the review of it. I'll tell you my thoughts about it, and just the overall layout of it, what I think about it, how it functions and everything. And I'll probably pull it out of the shop right here and I'll fire it up and dig some scrap metal out for you, and I'll probably run a few beads with it and everything. So just kind of give you a little, basically a good inside view on what you think about it, or what I think about it, and see what y'all think about it. And if y'all, some of you out there thinking y'all might want to get one, I'd recommend it. I get one, so, or I mean I own one, so I'd recommend another one. But anyway, let's get to it now. Also, you may notice first off the bat, I'm wearing a new welding shirt and everything, because all my others I have all gotten burned up, or I say burned up, you know, wear and tear. They're kind of falling apart, not looking as good. So also this year for Christmas, got a new Western welder and everything, and you know, pretty nice shirt and everything. So I'm not sponsored by them, even though I wish I was and everything. So I got a new pair of gloves also by Western Welder, got a new hat, and a Western Welder hat, and a new Lincoln Viking hood and everything. So I'll be debuting all that here in a second and everything. But first of all, let's get in with my review on my Hobart welder. Alright, so a little bit has changed since you last saw the machine. You know, I think last time I did a video on it, it was when it was down here on the shop floor, just sitting on its little shipping crate and everything, you know, and I fired it up for the first time and all that stuff. And so, as you can tell now, I've got it sitting on a skid, on a trailer right here that I got and everything. And so, I have actually custom built the skid that it's sitting on to fit all my reels, or my lead reels, my torch reels, and my acetylene and oxygen bottle and all that stuff and everything. So, but that's another video, and so I will be uploading that here shortly also. So keep an eye out for it, and I will show you how I made it and all that stuff, and how I custom paint it to match my 450 that I'm turning into my welding rig, or as y'all probably know, Old Blue, that I call on my channel, which it's still in the body shop, by the way, but it should be getting out within the next, should be done within the next month and everything, but fingers crossed, you know, you never know. So, anyway, to the Hobart machine. So, first off, to keep it pretty simple, this machine it's a DC only machine, and has a max output of 225 amps and everything. So, overall, as you can see right here, it's really pretty simple to use. So I mean, you know, you've got your range selector right there, and then you've got your fine adjustment over here. So, like the first one over there, as you can see, is 40 to 110. The second one is 50 to 150, and then the second one is 80 to 225. So also, on your other one, your fine adjustment, you've got, can't see it as good, but you've got a here, I'll help you out a little bit. So, there we go. So as you can see on your final adjustment, you've got a 1 through 10 on it right there. So I'm thinking that's probably like 1 would be like your minimum amps, 10 will be your maximum amps for the range that you've got the range selector set in right there and everything. So now I have not used it to its full capacity, 225 and everything. Probably the highest I've been with it so far is probably like around 130 amps, maybe somewhere in there. So, you know, nothing I've worked on yet, you know, keyword yet, have I had a need to put, you know, any kind of huge amperage out with it and all that stuff and everything. So overall, I'd say it's a good machine. I mean, it welds really smooth, and it's easy to figure out the use of it and everything. And also, as you can see right here on top of it, if you look right there, I don't know how well it's going to focus in on it or not, but yeah, there you go. It's got a little chart listed out with all your electrodes, their sizes, and it tells you what your amperage range is you can run with it and all that stuff and everything for your different size of diameter electrode. So that's kind of like a little cheater, I guess you could say, to help you get it set up and everything. Now the machine is a little dusty and everything. Of course, I have been, you know, going around doing mobile work with it and all that stuff, so it's getting its use so far. It does have a 12-gallon gas tank on it and everything, which overall I would say it's good on gas for the most part and everything. I mean, I can fill it up in the morning, work probably about a 7-8 hour day with it, you know, on most projects, or some projects, you know, and it'll probably be down to about half a tank, somewhere in there, maybe probably between your two, I mean between your half a tank and your quarter tank. There you go. So overall it's good on gas. I mean, there has been one time just recently I was running it, and I actually did run it completely out of gas, use it 12 gallons in one day, but that was because I was also using it to generate the lights in our shop up here and everything while I was welding and all that stuff. So also that is the plus side about it too, is that it has a 11,000 watt generator output also, so you can use it for nothing but solid generator power if you need to also. So another handy thing about it, or I'll show you the layout of it right here, or actually let me come on the other side and I can show you a little bit better. So yeah, it's kind of a crammed place in here right now until I can get all my stuff straightened out in the shop like I want it to and everything, you know. Shop's still a work in progress. But anyway, let me get some light for you right here. So as you can see right here, you've got 4 110 outlets underneath that cover right there, and of course I've always got an extension cord plugged into it that I'm like running my grinder off of and all that stuff and everything. And I got a big cord right there, but I gotta put a new female end on it right there because it's shorted out on me. But anyway, I bought it like $5 at a yard sale. I'm not gonna complain. But anyway, so you got 4 110 outlets underneath here. Also, you got 2 220 240 volts, you know. So you've got one 240, like your regular, you know, 3-prong style and everything. You got your regular 3-prong style 220. Then you've also got a, I think it's a 4-prong 220 or 240, whichever one you want to call it, you know. So they're very simple. You got plenty of power. I mean, I've been literally welding while I've been generating power for the lights up here in the shop and everything, running these 3, them 2 back there and everything. And see, that's plenty of light for us in here. So I've been using it to generate power for those lights and welding some heavier steel with it at the same time. This thing don't even know you got anything plugged into it. Now granted, it does sit there and run wide open while it's doing that the whole time. It's not going to be able to idle up and down, you know, but I mean, that's just what it's going to have to do to keep the power putting out and everything. So, you know, the first video I made with it, you know, it had literally 0 hours on it and everything. Now, about a year and a month later, as you can see when I turn the thing on, I am up to 178.8 hours on it and everything. So, I've been putting in the use for it and everything. And also, as you can see right here, I have 22.5 hours left until it's time for my next service due on it and everything. So that's pretty neat little thing about it right there, is it tells you not just your hours, but your countdown to your next service due on it and everything. Now on this particular machine, the instructions call for it that you gotta change the oil every 100 hours and change your oil filter every 200 hours. So basically you're 2 to 1 on your oil change and all that stuff. So overall, it's a pretty simple layout for the engine wise to service it and everything, because I actually changed some oil in it back in November, and this is January, and so I put literally 78 more hours on it in like 2 months and everything, because I've been using it pretty good bit and everything. So you just flip your door down right here, as you can see, you've got your oil filter right there, and then your oil drain is that yellow thing right there. Now, to me, I feel like they could have done just a little bit better at making some access to that, because it's kind of low right there. So like, I don't have a funnel or anything small enough to get up inside there to help it drain out and everything. Plus, with that bottom being level like it is, you can't really get much of a downflow on it. I mean, the way I did it was I just took like a piece of probably like, I think maybe like 3/8 gas line, somewhere in there, something like that, probably about a foot long, and I just stuck it on the end of that cap right there, and then loosened that cap, and that's when it started draining out. And I just had a little can sitting down here beside the welder right there and everything, and I just had it draining out the hose into my can and everything. I mean, it only took, I think, like 2 quarts of oil, I think, at the most, something like that and everything. I mean, it's not much oil at all this thing holds and everything, but I think it's, well, 2 quarts, something like that. I can't remember now. I'll have to look at it again. But yeah, so overall, I mean, it's pretty easy to service like that and everything. I mean, I feel like they could have done a little bit better access for getting that out and everything. But you know, I mean, it's when you're changing every 100 hours. I mean, it's not like it's gonna kill you that much to do and everything. And so, I mean, fuel filter, same way. I mean, it's simple to get to right there. 2 clamps, you're done with it. You know, I don't remember the hours like they were required to change the filter on it there, but I can look in the book and they'll tell me and everything. I mean, I know it's every 200 for the oil filter right there, so no big deal. So also, on your gas tank right here, as you can tell, you know, see it sits up underneath the machine and all that stuff and everything, and it comes up right here and it says you got your max fill. You got your max fill level right there and everything. So anytime I'm filling it up, I'll just pop this door down and I'll watch my gas come up, and I'll stop it when it gets up to that line right there. I mean, usually when I fill it up and everything, usually when I fill it up, I'm down to about, I wait till I'm down to about a quarter tank to fill it up and everything. And so a quarter tank, you got 3 gallons left, you know, because it's a 12-gallon tank and everything, so do the math. So usually I've got anywhere from about 3 to 4 gallons left in it when I fill up and everything. I don't like to run it out. I mean, granted, I mean, it's not really going to hurt it, but you really shouldn't be running it out, though. We'll put it that way. So that's that. Also, I'll show you too. The only downside I see to serviceability wise right here is that your battery is right back there and everything. Not that that's an issue, but the thing is, when you look right here on this back side, there's no panel exit that you can like a little panel door like that you can pop up, you know, to get your battery out. You got to remove this whole entire black piece and everything. That's not really a deal breaker for me. I mean, I can live with that, just because, you know, it's probably going to be very seldom you're going to be changing the battery in it and everything. So I can live with that and everything. And of course, it is a 23 horsepower Kohler V-twin engine, so of course, you know, you got your filters and all that stuff on this side. Change your spark plug right here. Same on the other side, you got a spark plug over there and everything. Then you just raise up, well, there we go. Raise this little door up and you got your air cleaner right there, oil dipstick right there, and that's pretty much it that you got up here and everything. And so right there you go. That's actually what I was telling you about. That's got your service records and all that stuff and everything. So every 100 hours your oil change and everything, 200 hours on your oil filter, and then you got every 200 hours for the fuel filter, 500 for your spark plugs. So basically, I mean, it's just it helps you out a whole lot, we'll put it that way. So overall, I would say serviceability wise, it's pretty simple to work with. Okay, so serviceability, it's easy to work with. Functionality, again, same way. Functionality is very simple to use and everything. I mean, it may look confusing at first to somebody who's not got much experience with using them, something like this, but trust me, you get the hang of it within the first few times you use it. For my leads I've got on it right here, I've got 200 foot total, 100 of ground, 100 of my stinger right there. So I've got it on number 2 cable and everything, and Number 2 should be plenty strong enough to carry this machine, because I mean, you can get on Google and you can look up the chart and everything. Just Google, like, you know, welding lead sizes for amperage output, something like that. You know, I can't remember how to put it in there, but something like that. You can Google it and it'll pull up a chart and everything that'll tell you what size cable you're going to need to stretch over what distance, carrying what amperage. You know, so number 2 for 100 foot is rated good for 250 amps or everything. 225. So this being 225, those are good for 250 amps up to 100 foot span. I'm good. Now, I will say too, whenever you're welding something, I would recommend unspooling just a little bit extra than what you need if you're going to put your leads on a reel like that. Just so that way when you're welding, your current is not flowing through a coil as much while you're putting your amperage through it, you know, because while your leads are rolled up like that, that's still creating resistance that power is going to push through, going through that coil and everything. So therefore it can cause your leads to heat up, could potentially cause problems, you know, if you're trying to carry too much amperage for what your leads are rated for. But mine, 250 amps up for 100 foot, I'm okay. So now they do get a little bit warm sometimes, but I mean, it's not anything that's going to concern you. I mean, it's like not that noticeable, you know. So overall, I would give the machine probably a I would say functionality 5 out of 5. It's very simple to use and everything. And so I would say serviceability, I'll give it a 4 out of 5 on serviceability, just because of it can be a little tricky to get the oil to come out the tube like you want it to drain it out and everything. Unless you had a funnel, and I'm sure I could probably fabricate some kind of funnel for it, you know. And also because you're going to have to take the whole entire battery or back panel off to get the battery out and everything. So whenever it comes time for me to do that on here, I'm going to have to unbolt it from my skid, pick it up, set it down somewhere, take the panel off, do all that, you know, put it back on. So 4 out of 5 serviceability wise. Functionality 5 out of 5. Welding ability, I will give it a 5 out of 5 too, because it welds really smooth and everything. And so that's really about as much as I can really brag on it and everything, much as I know to tell you about it. So that's about all I really know to tell you about the overall layout of it, design, how good it works, and all that stuff and everything. So, you know, proof is in the pudding. So I guess now I can go ahead and drag you out of the shop right here for you, and I'll get some scrap metal out and set some up and everything, and I'll run a couple beads with it and show you how good it welds and everything. Of course, that's also due to operator skills too, but you know, you get the idea. So let me go ahead and get this drug out right here, and I'll run a few beads to demonstrate it for you and everything, and let y'all see how good it can weld, and I guess how good I can weld too. So here we go. Alright, so I hope you can hear me good enough over the generator running right there, or the welder running, plus my generator powering the lights over here on the other side and everything. But I've got it all set up and ready to go, and I've got me a simple little T-joint made out of 1/4 inch flat bar that I had left over from some other projects and everything. So I took my grinder to flat disc, cleaned it up real good and everything on both sides and everything. So probably gonna save the other side for another video when I do my review on my Alpha TIG over there and everything. So yeah, also I'm gonna be testing out my new Lincoln Viking helmet, Daredevil edition right here. So yeah, testing it out. I've got my Hobart set to about 125, 130 amps and everything right there, as you can tell. 50 to 150 range set to, I put it between 7 and 8. That's probably about 130 roughly, somewhere in there. Or actually, well, it's about at 7 and everything. So gonna be running some 1.8 7018 with it. So yeah, let's go ahead and fire it up. Let's weld it out and see how it does. Okay, so I'm also gonna be representing my new Western Welder apparel right here and everything. So I got my Western Welder red jacket and everything. Got a new Western Welder hat right here, a little welding cap. Also, Western Welder stick gloves, or welding gloves. I think they're sticks and everything. I have to go back and look. But yeah, so I'm going to be testing out all three, plus my Lincoln Viking hood. So let's see how they all do together. Alright, got everything set up. Let's get to it. Okay, well I'm going to tell you right there, 4C lens is the way to go. Alrighty, so I'll tell you what, these gloves, very comfortable. I love them. The vacuum welding helmet right here, that 4C lens, that stuff is amazing. I can literally see everything a whole lot better than I could down with, where's that? I can see everything a whole lot better out of this hood right here than I could out of this old Cobalt hood that I haven't been using for a long time, which is about wore out and everything. So, these gloves, Western Welder, if y'all see this, these gloves are very comfortable. This shirt, I love it, very good also. Shout out to Lincoln Electric for the vacuum hood right here. That is probably the best hood I've ever owned. I mean, hands down, this is the best hood I've ever owned. Welding cap, very good also and everything. Came off with the headgear, but hey, that's okay. It happens sometimes, you know? No big deal. Alright, so now, let's go ahead and show you the weld and how good it can do right here. Alright, so here we go. This is just basically raw on edge. It hadn't done anything to it. Just finished welding it out and everything. Still hot and all that stuff. So if I can focus in on it right here, there we go. I can see a little bit better about how it did and everything. So everything's real smooth and all that stuff. And so, whoops, sorry I moved you. Everything's real smooth. Blended in real good. I mean, picture or camera don't do it justice and everything. Tie-ins are good everywhere. There's no valleys on it and everything. It's all nice and solid, one piece together and everything. Got a little wavy with it right in there, but hey, that's okay. That happens to the best of them sometimes, no big deal and everything. So yeah, overall, weld's pretty good. So that's best I can do with it, or I say best I can do with it. That's just a quick demonstration how good you can do with it and everything. So overall, it's a pretty good machine. Alright, so that is going to go ahead and conclude this video for today and everything. So, hope y'all enjoyed it and everything. Hope y'all enjoyed my review on the welder and that y'all like that and everything. Also, don't forget, if you're going to get some welding stuff, check out this Western Welder apparel. I am not sponsored. This is not a paid sponsorship. But I'm just giving a shout out of the kindness of my heart for them and everything. So far, this is probably this is a really good shirt. Very pleased with it and everything. The gloves, I'm very happy with them. The Viking helmet, I am beyond happy with that, beyond satisfied. Shout out to Lincoln Electric for that one and everything. So yeah, that's a quick demonstration of everything and my thoughts about all this stuff. So if you like this video, don't forget to comment, rate it, and subscribe for more. And I will see you guys next time. And probably welding video. Who knows what it's going to be? It's always going to be something different on this channel, guys.